Hey everybody, this is Chauncey Hutter Jr. with Real Tax Business Success, and we're doing a special presentation on the whole coronavirus situation. And uh, there's a lot of information flying around. And so what I wanted to do with this is a normal Q&A consultation session that I would do for some coaching clients, and I am basically just turning this into what to do about the coronavirus and the impacts on your tax business. Mainly, the main reason I'm doing this is there's just so many questions, and what I've done is I've written out some notes, and I'm just going to answer a lot of questions just broadly, and then I've got the next page of 4 or 5 questions that are more specific that I'm going to cover, that when just in talking to some of my clients, hearing what they're thinking, what they're asking, they don't have answers for. And then finally, if there's other questions that pop up, we answer in the end, that's fine. But hopefully I'll cover as much of this stuff. And again, as always, if you need something, if you have a question about something, you can always ask us at our office. So anyway, let's go. Let's get into it. Thank you, Emily, for playing host. If you do have questions for me, you just put them in the chat, and Emily we'll get to them at the end. So this is unprecedented, and you have heard that word: historical, unprecedented, never happened before. Well, guess what? Those are all true statements. We are in uncharted territory as a nation, and you as a business owner. And because this has never happened before, nobody can really say, okay, this is how this thing's going to play out in the near term and long term. Nobody really knows. However, the coronavirus, I'm not going to get into all the details of what's happening and what's spreading and what's a problem, what's not a problem. That's not the purpose of today's conversation. Today is there is this thing happening in the United. We'll just say it's around the world, but in the context of our conversation, this is happening in our neck of the woods. This is happening in our backyard where we do business. Okay, you are a business owner. And because this is happening and it's having an impact on your tax business, that's what we're going to talk about. This impacts not only your life, but all your clients' lives, all your prospects' lives. Everybody that you do business with, this impacts them. And guess what happens in the middle of crisis situations that impact everybody's life? Number one is everybody has got that on their brain, but they're all thinking to themselves, what's in this for me? How's this going to affect me? Is this going to be a bad thing for me? Is this going to be a good thing for me? Everybody's asking that question, including your clients and your prospects. So we got to get into their head and think about what they're thinking about. I hope you got, some of you received the little, I got this, somebody sent it to me, social media. I don't even have the image up. Emily, can you put that, I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Can you put that picture up of Isaac Newton?
Sure. Just give me a second.
Would you be able to do that? Somebody sent me this recently, and you guys have probably seen it, but if you haven't, it's a great example of what happens in crisis situations. There can be some really powerful good things that happen. And I can't remember off the top of my head what, I'm going to read this. Emily, would you, okay, never mind, I can read it. This is, somebody sent me this about how everybody's having to work from home. you end up discovering gravity, which is a joke, but this is real. I mean, this is historic hustle. Okay, 1665. Sir Isaac Newton had to work from home when he was at the University of Cambridge, temporarily closed due to the bubonic plague, which is a real plague. And it was the most productive period of his life. And he used that time to develop his theories on calculus. What is this? Optics and gravity? I can't read it. Anyway, that is so powerful to me. Somebody that has got, and you can take it down now, Emily, somebody who has got some hustle in them, some brain cells, some desire to get better, and understands at this time when everybody's kind of hunkered down, they're going to use it to skill up, learn, think about stuff, actually steward the time that they've got. Some Isaac Newton, somebody is going to invent something, and it's going to be a result of what's going on right now. I think that's awesome. I think it's incredible. Now, nobody's asking you to do that because you're in the middle of tax season, but that is what, in real life, I mean, that was, 400 years ago, 350 years ago. That kind of thing, people will look back on 2020 and go, wow, that was the beginning of blank, whatever it was. There's going to be so many of those that people will talk about and say. So which brings me to my next point. I mean, you're in tax season, you're busy with clients, you're doing what you can do. And you can't, you didn't sign up for everybody leaving businesses and going home and staying home and trying to hunker down and stay away from a virus and not get sick and not spread anything. And, this is just what's happening. So, but what you can do, you can take personal responsibility of the situation that's happened. You can educate yourself on the good, the bad, the ugly. You can be in charge of your brain, meaning what you put into it. There's 90+% of what is floating out there is garbage. Talking about, nobody knows so much of this. It's just garbage. And people are so freaked out, fearful, upset, negative. And I'm not saying that there's some negative consequences. I'm just trying to say you've got to steward your brain on what you allow to come into your mind, what you look at, what you hear with your ears. You got to take personal responsibility of that. In any situation, especially in a crisis situation. Yes, if you know some good sources that you can validate and you're up to speed on and you're happy with, you've taken some time rationally to think through and you believe would be good, and what's mostly what's behind what everybody's talking about relates to money. You got to follow the money, the bigger budgets, more eyeballs on the screen, more clicks on the computer. I mean, everybody has motives on saying what they're saying. What you kind of have to mentally, you are responsible for breaking through the jungle and actually thinking straight about what's really going to happen or not happen with you and your situation. And don't let the hype get you off course. Dan Kennedy, one of my mentors back in the day, gave me some really good advice right after 9/11. He said, and if you remember that, everybody was glued to the TV set, watching the news. Everything, what everybody did at work was just talk about the terrorists and the airplanes going into the buildings and what's going to happen now. And we're going to go to war. And all this stuff was going on. Nobody was flying. Nobody was traveling. And what Dan Kennedy told me and what he told me to tell my clients, and I did back in the day, is, okay, this is a terrible thing. and I'm sad, and there's people that died, but we are going to also have to focus and be productive and actually not let this economy go on the toilet and tank, and actually be a blessing to people, provide a higher level of value, sell stuff, have people be happy with what they bought from you, and because it benefits them. And let's not spend our whole day looking at the TV screen or listen to the radio about this 9/11 tragedy. And it took a while for that to happen. It took months. There were people that just were mesmerized, and they just sat in fear, and that did not help. Their businesses went down. People's work, they lost their job. Things happened because productivity went in the toilet. Now, in this case, I don't know how much longer we got here. I don't know. We're a couple of weeks into this thing. We're not quite at 2 weeks, but things have been happening swirling for a couple of weeks, and we may be another month. I don't know, weeks, 2 months. I don't know. But because nobody really knows, and nobody really knows how long it'll take, there will be a slingshot. I mean, it will be whenever the go sign is on, and people start getting back to the what they used to do with their jobs and their businesses and things, and people start going out and spending money, and I mean, it's going to be a rapid move upward in the economy. It's going to be like, wow, but we're not there yet. And so you have to mentally make sure you're not being affected by media and pundits and elected officials and just people telling you information because that's what they want to tell you because it benefits them. Anyway, you got to be responsible for your own mindset. You're in the middle of tax season. It's busy. Now, you may have had the air popped a little bit, your balloon popped for the April 15th deadline, because now people know they got some time. So why push it? I mean, yes, you got a big stack of tax returns that you're doing, but you're going to have another 3 months after that. So yeah, you're busy, but you're not going to be crazy busy like you were about to be. We've never had this 3-month extension before as a nation in the tax industry. So it's hard to kind of plan for the future. I mean, you're busy. You're thinking about taking care of clients and what's going on. What does it mean for your tax business? What does this coronavirus mean for your tax business after, post April 15th? What does the July 15th deadline mean for you? These are all questions that when I ask my coaching clients, what are you doing after April 15th? What's your plan for those 90 days till July 15th? Crickets. I got nothing. I mean, nobody's telling me anything. They haven't digested the thought that this really is going to be a selling window, a time for you to pick up new clients, a time for you to service your existing clients, and a time for you to provide additional services that you never thought of, or they're new for this situation. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity, but no one's really hadn't gotten there yet. And I understand. I mean, everybody's busy. So because of that, as everybody knows, cash is important right now, and you're in tax season. You've been building up cash because of clients coming in to get their taxes done during tax season. So you're fine from a cash standpoint. Your cash is strong because if this happened in October or November, December, that'd been a struggle for the tax and accounting industry, because that's when everybody is trying to, get to January to tax season again, and people have cash flow issues. Not the case here. But here's what I'm also seeing. As I've talked to a handful of tax professionals, they're also like, they're starting to act like a turtle and go into their shell with the money they just made from tax season and not do anything, stay still, and not poke their head out and see what's going on and let's just wait this thing out for a couple of months. That's not the right answer either. Okay, hoarding or just hunkering down, acting like just hoping it all blows over and hoarding your cash. And no, some of the biggest mistakes when you listen to the successful business owners as recently as 2008, 2009, 2010, during that real estate crash that affected a lot of different industries. One of the biggest learned lessons that the ones that I've listened to, what they tell me was, I missed out on millions of dollars because I sat on my hands because I was a little on the scared side, wasn't sure what was going to happen. But there were so many things at a discount that I didn't realize within 1, 2, 3 years from now, all these things would be doubling and tripling. And I could have gotten so much more market share with clients. I could have gotten so many more assets I could have purchased. I mean, there's story after story after story I've heard from a lot of people. They learned their lesson 10 years ago. And this time around, they're going to be very strategic with their money. You can be very strategic with the tax season revenues. I'm not saying go off and spend all your money next month. I'm saying be strategic on how you spend it and invest it, because what you invest in and how you invest now over the next 90 days, you'll be able to get more revenue over the next 90 days, is really will set you apart. Because I promise most of your competitors are going to sit on their hands. You will be by yourself. And I'll have a lot to say after April 15th and what to do in the 90 days to July 15th later. But there'll be ways where you'll be the only person. You'll be just sitting there collecting new clients and collecting money and picking up new revenue streams because everybody else is scared, sitting on their hands. Anyway, different conversation for a different day. So here's what I would do if I'm in your shoes. If I'm in your shoes, I am going to ask my clients, what is your biggest problem? What do you need? I mean, I started doing this already with you guys, with my Real Tax community. I've already started asking tax business owners a quick little survey. Tell me, what can I do for you? What is your biggest problem? How can I help you solve it? I want to know what people are thinking, what their issues are, how they want stuff delivered to them, what would be beneficial for them. The best way to find out what your customer or your client wants is to ask them. You should do the same. You should ask your tax payer, whether they're just individuals or small businesses, ask them, what do you need from me? What do you need help with? And it may not be tax related, by the way. And you can do, that doesn't mean you can't help them. And you can bring in an alliance. You can bring in somebody else to help sell them stuff to be a benefit, but they came through their trusted advisor, their tax accountant. And so there are a lot of ways for you to be a benefit to your clients and make money. It's all good. So ask your clients what they want. I used a simple little free service. You don't even have to use the pay version. Just use the Survey Monkey email. And again, you don't have to use those guys. There's a dozen other options out there. But just use one of them that's free, and learn something from your clients. What you're gonna find out is what you can actually do for them and how they want you to do it for them. Like they're gonna, once you gather some information, you might be open to providing some virtual seminars. You might be open to providing some virtual consultations. You might be open that you weren't in the past. You didn't do this in the past. There might be people out there that are other business owners, other associations, other people that you're connected with that would not maybe not give you the time of day 6 months ago or a year ago, but based on 2 weeks ago, everything's changed, and you can reach out and be able to provide some of their services to your clients, or you can provide your tax services to their clients. There's everything is open now. I mean, every option is available. And then I can just tell you what I'm learning based on feedback that I'm getting from my clients, from you guys. I can tell you after April 15th, these are just 2, 3, 4 things that I'm going to be doing specific trainings on to help my coaching members and various consulting clients, how to run a tax business remotely. People are asking that. And I've got coaching clients that are doing it right now very successfully. We can feature them and we can interview them, talk to them, and build out a little process to help people. How to build alliances to promote your tax business. Again, I'm seeing this happen right now where people are working together and they're open to working together because of what's going on in the economy. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. Show you how to refer new products and services that actually will add an income stream to your tax business, not related to taxes or accounting, that actually your existing clients want, existing prospects want, but you would offer these products and services without hardly any extra work or anything on your part, and offer it to them where you get a referral fee, and you can even get an ongoing referral fee. I mean, there's a lot of different options out there, and I'm actually proactively looking into some of these right now for me and for later on for you guys, for my clients, and also for some other businesses that I'm involved in. And then fourthly, how to acquire new practices for no money down. There's going to be plenty of tax businesses that the tax business owners are at the end of they were thinking about retirement or getting out last year or the year before, or they were going to give it this year or maybe next year. And all this stuff has happened. And they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've seen some of this on my feedback. There are people saying, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, what's going to happen to their clients? I can tell you there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to sell and get out of the business. And there's going to be plenty of accounting and tax professionals that aren't going to be buying. But the savvy ones are. And I'm going to show you how you can be savvy and acquire some new practices. In some cases, they'll be local. In other cases, they're not going to be local because you won't need to be local because a lot of this is going to be virtual now. This is a whole new training that I'm going to be putting together that is going to benefit my coaching clients in the future. We're going to have to get on this soon. I mean, it's going to be stuff we put together on the fly and help my clients after April 15th and before July 15th. We're going to want to do all these things in the next 9 days because time is upon us. It's just so, I mean, I wake up with goosebumps every morning. I'm made straight with you. I can't sleep at night, not because I'm scared. It's because the opportunities are endless right now. I get goosebumps thinking about what can be done in this world now, that because everything is changed and there's so many new things that we can offer and help people with, and we can benefit in our business too. Your tax business, your accounting business, whatever it was 3 weeks ago or last month or before tax season or in 2019, I promise you in 2021, it's not going to look the same. And if you're proactive and have an open mind, you may have several new income streams coming in your tax business that you never thought about before. But because of this coronavirus and this whole everybody going home and everybody going virtual now, and they're doing all, the opportunity to provide certain services and certain products and services as a benefit to your existing clients, you're going to be like, wow, I would never would have thought I'd be doing this. And that's exciting to me. So let me get into some specifics as far as time goes. I mean, as far as some of these questions go. I got 5 of them. Let me just go. First one is, what do I do after April 15th? Meaning the guy's question was, those 90 days. And the funny part is, I've asked a similar question in my survey, and people are saying, well, I'm just going to do tax returns because I've got extra time to do tax returns now. And somebody else is like, well, I'm going to do my normal schedule. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to have to add a couple of days to do some work throughout the week, but I'm just going to do business. And the answers I'm getting, I'm like, really? I mean, you have an unprecedented window open 90 days to go get a lot of different, not just regular tax returns, but small business accounts that need you more than ever. And there's services that are needed for you to offer to them more than ever. And you're just going to do the same old, same old? I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but anyway, I would be, I mean, we could make a list right now. We could make a list of consulting services, coaching services, financial services, tax planning, filling out those government loans, those SBA loans. I mean, those things are hot right now. And I had a coaching client told me that she was charging $500 to fill out these forms. I'm like, I mean, do not undercharge. What are you doing? I told her at least charge $1,500. I told another lady, you need to be charging $2,500. It's time consuming. There's like 8 different documents and fill all the stuff. They're going to be potentially qualified to get, a ton of money. I mean, some businesses qualify for $2 million. I don't know if you're working with those kind of businesses, but they're going to get something, and they want it, they need it. I mean, that's just one example. There's a lot of different services you can offer over the next 90 days after the what used to be tax season, April 15th. Now you got an extra 90 days. Should I start running coronavirus ads to get new clients? You're going to think I'm nuts, but my answer is no, not yet. No, don't do that. I don't want you to use coronavirus as this hook that gets new clients and scares people. Don't do that. Use the coronavirus situation as a way to service and serve your existing clients first. And you got them, or coming in a couple of weeks, take care of your existing clients. And by the time you start running other ads, you won't have to say coronavirus. You'll be just talking about taking advantage of the economy, and it's coming back, and people are at home, and there's other language that you can use in your ads that are effects of the coronavirus. But I wouldn't use coronavirus as the thing that, I mean, be an education, use that coronavirus in your ads as an education tool, but not necessarily a way to, hook them into buying something like a tax service right now. That's not the best idea. Thirdly, many businesses are hurting. Which ones are booming? It's a great question. We all know airlines, hotels, the travel industry, hospitality industry, restaurants, all these guys taking a big hit. It's hard. I mean, I'm feeling for these guys. It makes me mad that there's so many people that are not getting paid, and moms at home with their kids, they can't work. There's just so many things that are just terrible. And I'm sad for that. It drives me nuts. But there's also businesses that 2-3 weeks ago, they're like just running business as normal. I'm not talking about the medical community. I mean, there's people that are making all the medical stuff and stuff that would help with the coronavirus. I'm not even talking about that's its own industry. I'm talking about other, like, like we're on this Zoom platform recording this right now. Zoom, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but everybody and their brother, they just times 100 their usage. We used to be able to get a coaching video that we would record for clients. We would record something, and an hour later we'd have a replay of it. Now it takes 4 days plus to get a recording back, and even longer. I mean, they are just crushing it, and I'm glad for them. I want people to prosper, so that whether it's Google or Microsoft Groups or Zoom or GoToWebinar or all these people, God bless them, man. They're just, I hope you make a ton of money, because when something goes down, something else has to go up. And so there's these virtual seminars. I know I got some friends that are in the seminar business, and they've had to take all their seminars and they had to put them on virtual now. And there's existing platforms that it's more than just Facebook Live, but very interactive, very high tech stuff, and meant for thousands and thousands of people from all over the place. And those guys, those sales reps, they're getting, I've been told they're getting 2 hours of sleep. They work 22 hours a day, can't stop taking orders, because that's the new, what people got to do to get to their customers. If they used to do seminars, now I got to do virtual. Home-based businesses obviously are booming because everybody's at home. If you sell home-based stuff, you're just crushing it. I mean, if you sell anything food or health or related that gets delivered to your house, you're crushing it. Look at Amazon. I mean, my gosh, Amazon can't stop hiring people. Trying to hire 100,000 new employees right now, and their stock is through the roof, and they're running out of stuff left and right because people are at home ordering stuff. So there are plenty of businesses out there that are doing well and booming. And so, I mean, even the trucking bit, I mean, truckers, they got to deliver all these things. I mean, there's a lot of people doing really well. Whether people are doing well or not doing well, the main point is there's two extremes happening. There's tax consequences for doing very well and doing very poorly. That's you. You get to help people with tax and accounting related consequences to these two extremes going all over the country. Your services, you may not feel it right now, but your services in the coming months, definitely when this economy gets back rolling again, and then next year, next tax season, oh my gosh, you are going to be in a great situation. So, have perspective on this. I have an understanding that you're in a good place as a professional accountant or a professional tax person that helps small businesses. You really can be a blessing to a lot of people and get paid for it. The other question, they asked, how long will this coronavirus thing last? I don't know. If anybody tells you they know, they're lying, because they don't know either. The other part of the question was, when do we get back to normal? There is no get back to normal. That's the crazy part. I mean, people haven't gotten their head around this. Whatever normal was before a month ago, a month from now, and everything from now on, it's not going to be like that. Whatever that was, it's not. There is a new normal now, and it's post coronavirus. And whether we're talking a month from now, 6 months, a year, 5 years, we'll look back on the spring of 2020. That's when this shifted, that shifted, this changed, that changed. I don't know exactly what all those things are going to be. I mean, there's going to be a lot of new babies coming into this world at the end of the year, into this, Christmas and New Year's, because of what's happened these last couple of weeks and probably the next couple of weeks. I mean, there's all kinds of unintended consequences and good and bad things that are going to be happening. We don't really know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. It'll be in the history books. So don't think in your head, I just want everything to get back to normal. I know we all kind of want that, but that's really not what's going to happen. There is no normal. Last month's normal is not going to be next month or next 6 months. That's not going to happen. So you have to have, okay, what's the new normal? And we as a group, my coaching clients, people that are in our real tax community that are paying attention and are getting we'll be talking as groups, and we'll be on some of these virtual calls. We're going to learn together in many ways, but there'll be opportunities that come up. I'm in a coaching group. I'm in a mastermind and a group based out of Nashville, Tennessee. And we are having the best time back and forth communicating, and we really helping each other out and throwing around ideas and examples of what's working and doing things in their industry. And it's a great time to be just to be in a group with other like-minded people on how can we go forward. So that's good. Last question I'm going to get to is what's the future impact for the tax and accounting industry? I'm not some wizard with a crystal ball, but I can give you some basic assumptions and general forecasting on what I think is going to happen in the tax and accounting industry. What happened a lot of times, there was already a trend with the tax and accounting industry for things to move online. That was already a trend. It's been happening for a decade plus, 15 years. Well, coronavirus and this whole scenario thing that's happened is basically just going to speed up that process. And more people are going to just do more things online now. And they're going to have more and more interactions with their clients online now. And people can see that they can do it because they were forced to do it. And they're like, oh, it's great. And so this is like, it just gave a shot in the arm to our industry. You're going to have less people coming in and doing business with you face to face. It won't completely go, but that trend will pick up where more people will do it virtually. That will mean you'll look for clients outside of your local area that in the past you in your mind you thought, well, I just have to do business with people that are in my city. And that's never been true in the last 10 years. You could always go out and get more business. Well, now it's going to be easier because everybody's online in a different way. They understand that you can do their tax services and they can do your accounting, whatever, from afar, virtually. And so you'll have an opportunity to get more business all over the country. That is going to blow some people's businesses through the roof. And it's going to be an incredible rocket ship. Other things that are going to happen in the tax and accounting industry, besides people going online, there's going to be new services, new products and services that you never thought you would offer, but because your clients and customers are asking for it in this world, in this scenario, you're going to offer it to them and get paid for it. And in the past, you've said, oh, yada, 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 extra revenue stream, new services, and that is going to be, I mean, I'll even predict a couple of years down the road, some of these new services, some of these new products that you're going to offer as a tax and accounting profession will actually eventually make you more money than your core business right now. And you're like, what? And I'm like, yes, that's a true statement. Entrepreneurial tax business owners who are going to take advantage of what the marketplace has given them, i.e. the coronavirus, post-coronavirus, weeks, months, years down the road, you will be able to provide, and here's why. You're going to be able to provide other products and services to your existing clients because you are a trusted authority. You're a trusted expert. You're a tax advisor, accounting advisor. People go to you and they seek out help. You're going to be able, you're a great hub for when people need to think about, okay, they think about their taxes, they think about their financial situation, they think about insurance. Those are a lot of the normal stuff, but there's going to be other stuff outside of the tax industry, outside of the accounting industry that you wouldn't normally think of that will be introduced to you and you'll use in the coming weeks, months, years, maybe a decade, and it down the road will be more beneficial to you financially than what you do right now. There's other I don't mean to be a negative on this, but this negative is a positive. Because the tax industry skews older, because there's a lot of older men and women in the tax and accounting world, whatever older is to you. Some people think 70 is not old. I don't think that's old, but there's 70 and 75, 80, 85, 90. There are people that prefer not to do much of the technical stuff. Online, virtual, all that stuff is a little too much. They don't want to do that. And so they're going to punt and they're going to say, I don't want to do this anymore because this is where this thing's going. And they will have wished they sold their business a year ago or 2 years ago, because tax and accounting businesses, because of supply and demand and because of what's just happened, you're going to be able to get a tax or accounting business for 50 cents on the dollar down the road, compared to what you might have had to pay dollar for dollar for gross revenue, or $1.25 for per dollar for gross revenue. Those days are over. Okay, that's not gonna. And so that you can now scale some business virtually, and you can go buy up practices virtually and only pay for the clients that come back and use your services. Because why can you do that? Why will you be able to negotiate that? You'll be able to negotiate that also with no money down deals just to take over the clientele. Why? Because so many people are going to be selling that are in this older generation that do not want to do the virtual, that it's better to get 50%, 60% than nothing, because they're out, they're leaving. And so you can pay them, let's say at 60%, you can pay them 20%, 20%, 20% over the next 3 tax seasons, and just pay based on what people, what clients came back. And that's no risk on your part, no money on your part. That's going to be the new norm for marketing. You won't need to market anymore. You can just go buy the business for no money down. And you'll be able to buy it virtually, not just in your city. Now that is $1 million deal. Like what I just said is worth $1 million. And so because that's going to be a big deal, I'm going to put together packages, coaching deal packages to help people do what I just said, and to expand, because, at least on the first one, the first couple, you're going to need to have you got a mentor to kind of walk you through it. But then after that, you'll be off the races, and you'll do, that'll be the way you do it. That's the future. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And there'll be a consolidation, and there'll be fewer tax and accounting professionals this coming year in 2021 and 2022. And there are already people that were going to be retiring and exiting, according to all these surveys you see, in the 20s out the way to 2030. They're already going to be, 3 out of every 4 CPAs were going to be retiring or getting out of the business by 2030. That's going to speed up now. So with fewer people out there doing tax and accounting work and more business for you, and you can do it virtually, not just locally, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, you talk about just the opportunities for people that have a let's do this attitude, not sit back. I'm gonna hold my couple dollars in my pocket and not do anything new and just kind of, I don't want to, upset the apple cart. Those people, they're not going to see the advances that I'm describing in the new world, the new future of the tax and accounting world. So that's what I see. I'm excited to do that with you. For those of you who are in coaching, I'm excited to walk down that road with you. Going to be an awesome couple of weeks, months, years. Maybe this might be the biggest decade of all of our lives. So I'm excited. That's it for now. Let's send all. I want this to be not just a one-time shot. I want you to be able to send in your questions. So send it. Email our office at chauncey@taxmarketing.com, and we can actually help you there as well. Excited for you guys. I'm excited for what the tax and accounting industry that you're in. I'm excited to help you, excited to be with you, and we're going to go get them. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.